Here we are above the clifftop city of Principia in Labyrinthum. Now this, of course, is just a plan here, but I would like to talk about my method of building a city in Minecraft. Everyone has their own method, but what I like to do is probably a bit different than others. But for this city, I already have an established village way over there. So there are things that I have access to already, such as food. So I don't have any shortage of food. That's not a problem. So the first thing that I would do in the city is the starter house. And for this city, that happens to be right here. I've already built this one. And this is where I am basing myself. It's also what I am using for the basic architecture for the city. So this house is the kind of thing that I would use to, I guess, use as a basis for the rest of the houses, but not necessarily the other buildings. Once I'm done this house, I then need to figure out what kind of materials do I need to build all of these houses and other buildings. And that's the start of the industrial zone. So going over here, this is where I am building a lot of the factories. I'm automating some of the materials. And one of the first things that I'm doing is the iron farm right over here. So the iron farm is going to be, of course, completely automated. It involves, let's just say, it's going to be compact. And the building is going to be an ironwork. So I want it to fit within this world. So it's hidden inside. You don't see any of the processes of the iron being made, with the iron golems and things like that. But it's also a great place for me to have some villagers where I can trade, and in particular, iron trades and getting, of course, the armor, weapons, and tools. So I've got some of that covered. And then, well, I should mention that the iron is used a lot for things like lanterns, and I will be using a lot of iron bars and chains in this city, so I need that. And then we have another one. This one is right over here. So we got a clay factory. The clay factory will be connected to a brickworks building, and it will produce bricks and terracotta. And terracotta is the main construction material that I have for the city. And I will need to also have dyes to dye the terracotta. So I will have to make several dye factories. Now, as books are a major thing in Labyrinthum, well, let's see. Over here, we've got pulp and paper mill. So it's an automated sugarcane farm, and it will create paper. And way over on the other side, where we're going to have some animal farms. So this is where food can come in. I don't want to have to go all the way back over there all the time. But I will have, of course, 2 different kinds of animal farms that will come in extremely useful for books. One of them, of course, is the chicken farm, because I need a book and quill, which means, well, I need feathers. So I'll have a chicken farm here. It'll also include a chicken cooker. So cooker with feather factory. And then over here we have the cow farm, which will also include, as you can see what I have here, this is a tanner, but it's going to be built as a tanner. But it is it's a cow crusher for leather and beef. So the leather will be taken care of here. And then, of course, we need the squid farm, which is going to be way back over in the industrial area. It's also the fishing area, and that'll complete it. The squid farm is not a squid farm. It's a squid fishery, and I'll just go out and hunt the squid whenever I need to. I'm not making an actual squid farm. So those are the basics. We already have trees. I have a tree farm way over there in the lumber camp. But after that, we are going to be expanding the housing as well as the road network. These are ongoing, and during the episodes, I will probably be doing 1 or 2 houses each episode, along with some kind of business, which is in here. And as far as the businesses go, I would want to start off with the villager job block businesses. And I will also want to populate them with villagers so that I can get the trades, of course. Now this will, of course, include, well, already have the smiths way down there in the ironworks. But over here we have a library. Going to want librarians, because I want book trades, but this is also where I'm going to store a lot of books that I am writing, not just enchanted books. And of course we need the cleric, so we're going to have a kind of apothecary. And I have to figure out where to put that, of course. And we are going to have a hospital over here. And this can include an apothecary. So the Clerics Guild and Apothecary right here. I'm going to have a hospital somewhere around here. And the nether portal is in the basement because, well, apothecaries require access to netherwort. But there are others, of course. I'm not going to include all of them. The sheep farmer will be out in the countryside over there, and so on. The shepherd, I should say. But then we need to work on protection. One way is, of course, lighting up everything, which is something that I probably should do. But we have a line of wool here. We're going to be building walls around the city. In this world, part of the lore is the dangerous mobs have come out. They're coming out at night, so they are... all of the villages and towns and cities are encouraged to build walls. And this is, of course, going to be a way that I can stay within the city without having to worry about the mobs at night. I can continue to work at night. So that's a good thing, right? Of course, we'll have towers for defenses. We'll have big gates. This is going to be a major gateway here. Of course, it's going to be going out to the capital city in that direction. And also, I would need to build bridges. This is part of the road network that I would have to do. Lots of those. I would, of course, be building a lot of defensive towers, and that's a kind of thing that's a necessity in this world. After that, I would be working on the Central Business District, which is this area here and going up to here. We're going to be building a lot of businesses, and I want the central area to look fairly grand and expensive looking. I mean, this city is fairly rich, so I want it to look like it's got money. It's a major trading city and manufacturing. Lots of things to build, or they build lots of things. And then we just do a lot of infill. So, for example, if we go along here, we've got the roads. I would want to put in little things like right down here. We have a storage and backdoor access for this business. Not this business, for that business there. Got a house here. But coming over here, we've got these little areas like this. A pocket park with a tree. Just filling in little spots, right? And there'll be something down here as well. Just filling in these little bits. And way down here, this is, of course, going to be a massive park. Huge park. And coming over here, we've got the entrance to a classic Minecraft ravine. This is going to be one of those infill projects which will turn into a very unusual shopping mall. There's going to be businesses all through here. and with lights all over the place, making it look nice and not scary like a cave, of course. We'll have a variety of interesting things down around here. We've got a cafe. It's a cave cafe. I'm going to be putting glass floor here so you can look down there. And we, of course, will have windows here. And you can look out into this cave area and see the mobs coming up. That's a fun thing to do, huh? And then we work on the big builds. Now keep in mind the housing and the roads, these are all ongoing things, as well as the little bits filling in little spaces. That'll keep going. But we're going to have the big builds, such as the city hall here. That will be a big one. And probably the biggest build in this city isn't even in the city, it's just over here. We got a couple big builds. We're going to have a big temple complex, which is going to be on the top of that hill right there. And look at all these caves here. So we're going to have a big temple complex up here. And we're going to have a university that fills this area. This is a really big build. We have this portal here, which is going to be the subject of study for the university. But this is the prize here. We've got this cave entrance with a massive cave inside. This is going to be the hostile mob research station for the university. I think somehow I'm going to have to get various mobs into the main research building over here, so that they can be studied, right? I think that's a good idea. And then the big thing at the end is going through the entire city and beautifying everything. If there's anything missing, like empty spaces that need to be filled in, they need to be beautified. And everything is going to be built on. This whole area is going to have stuff. So it'll be very interesting to see. And that's about it. But if you'd like to know about some of my other projects in this city, of course, we're going to have a cottage area over here. So nice, rich houses over here. A bit outside the city, in fact. It's going to be outside the walls. Down here, this area is going to have the fisherman's village, I guess you can call it. So all along here, we're going to have houses, small houses, that are home to fishermen. And they're going to be all over the place. They're going to be all around here as well. I believe what I have here is the Inkworks Squid Fishery. Okay, that's what I'm calling it. Up here is the Fisherman's Guild. So, as far as guilds go, that's also going to be, I guess, part of the whole job block thing. We're going to have businesses, but also guild halls. Now, over here, this area is industrial. And continue on over here, continuing to be industrial right here. But this is the military base. We're going to have, of course, another portal here. And I think what we should have over here is something like a shipbuilding facility. But this area does not have big ships. It doesn't have access to an ocean. It has access to rivers. So we need ships that are small and river going. We're going to have kelp farm over here, which will be great for fuel for a lot of the factories in here. And I'm going to build, it's going to look kind of like a big fortress, but it's going to be pretty much hollow inside. And it's going to be a creeper farm. Fairly classic, like the hourglass-shaped creeper farm on the inside. But you wouldn't see it. You never would. And coming around this area here, we're going to have more fishermen's huts and things like that. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't want that. And nothing really out here. Nothing until we get much farther down here. This is interesting. This can contain some kind of hidden treasure, you know, possibly. And it does go up. It goes up. Ooh, hello. So yeah, it does go through there. But I'm not sure where it goes. I haven't looked. And we will also have way over here. Here it is. This is going to be one of the towers for the walls. But this is going to be an kind of a emergency entrance or exit if I need to. If I need to get over here quickly. Yeah. As far as other forms of transportation, we are going to have a Happy Gast station where you can park your Happy Gast and take a ride to another city. So one way of traveling. No trains, though. We're not doing that. And so that is about it for how I plan on building the city. And I plan on following similar kind of plan for the capital city. We would start with starter house again and then do a bit in industrial area. There's going to be industry over here. We are going to have food farms over here. There will be farms over here too. Of course, the palace, which is going to be one of the big builds, which will come in later. But that's about it. What do you think? Is there an order that you like to build things in? Let me know in the comments below. If you like videos like this and would like to see some more, then please consider subscribing to this channel as well as my main one. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.